beautiful. So when you say that I believe in God, God's gonna look out for me, then you also start to move like that. Don't say that, I know God's gonna take care of me, and then make choices based on fear. Then wear clothes like, your creative expression is based on fear, like, oh my God, people will like see me, judge me, and all of that. So that's like fear based thoughts, fear based actions. When you say like, I know God's gonna take care of me, I know God's gonna provide for me, I know God's gonna look after me, I know God's gonna make the mountains move to, make things work out in my favor, then you move like that. You don't just say a prayer and then live in fear. You make choices based on your faith. Okay, and that's the secret to manifestation. Like, it's like, when you know, like, yes, God's gonna take care of me, what state your body will be in? It's gonna be in calmness, not stress, fear, or worry. Okay, your body is gonna be in the state of calmness, relaxation. And that's the shortcut, that's the quantum leap. It's the best of the best manifestation technique and tip out there. And affirming to yourself that I refuse to exist in stress. I'm not gonna stress out about it, because I know God's got it. I know God's got it. And then whenever the fearful thought, painful or worrisome thought starts to come, then you reaffirm, like, I'm not gonna stress out about it, because I know God's got it. I know God's got me. So like, when you say a prayer, when you talk to God, when you say like, okay, I know God's gonna take care of me, God's gonna look after me, move like that. Move with that faith. Like, yes, it must work out, because God's gonna make it work for me. It better work out, because God's in charge. If God is in charge of my life, I'm gonna be healthy, I'm gonna be wealthy, I'm gonna be successful, I'm gonna exist in wealth, I'm gonna exist in epic health, I'm gonna exist in emotional maturity. Meaning I will be emotionally mature, and the people that exist in my world will be emotionally mature. That I'm gonna, because God is in charge of my life, I'm gonna exist in deep calmness and peace, and that energy of inspiration. So if you feel like God is in charge of your life, God is in charge of your health, your money, and your home, and your relationships, so why are you stressing? Are you doubting God? Are you doubting God? Or anyway, this message is a reminder for you to move like, actually, I know God's got me fully. Move like that, talk like that, and say a prayer that, God, I'm gonna move into this world like you got me. Back in November, when I got to know that my mom had cancer, and in this February she passed away, I was going through, like, I didn't know what to do. I literally didn't know what to do, because I was in a different city. I was struggling to pay my rent, pay my bills. I was scared, like, how will I get my food and all of that. And suddenly there is this family panic took over. I thought I'm gonna lose my freedom, because because when I moved to different city, it is then when I started to get healthier, and I started to feel freer, and I started to become who I came to be here, and live as who I came to be here. Because back in my village and in my hometown and around my family and relatives, there is so much shame based. Everybody has suppressed their creative and playful nature so much that people have stopped playing. People have stopped creativity to exist in themselves, and so they don't see. Bring magic in your life with my magic paintings. This painting says, dearest God, dearest mother, thank you for guiding me, thank you for leading my way. when you live around this painting, the way you start to move in this world very bravely, confidently, courageously, you would find yourself becoming most braver, bolder, confident version of yourself, and it's just so much divine guidance and peaceful energies into your life. Super powerful. Super. You can't miss the magic. You can't. I'm telling you, you cannot. Okay. Also, you can hire me and I will channel a customized magic painting uniquely for you. A painting that will bring lot of success, high vibrations, good energies, power, love, and like sacred, peaceful, pure energies into your life. It's so powerful. And I see other people like anybody who's like playing and letting their inner child come out, they shame them and like try to like put them in the box and all of those things. Okay, so I didn't wanted to go back home. I also was losing my mother, so I was stressed out about that. I couldn't even pay my rent, and I was just so in such a dark place. And because of that, I also like got into this mindset around so much, people who, when people are in survival, that's when they start to do really pathetic things. Okay, so I wouldn't say I did, but what I did was, I oh my god, I've said this so many times. I feel like, I hope I'm not, yeah, I'm just sharing this, and I want you to hear it only with a kinder and compassionate heart, no shaming. Okay, so what I did was, because I was so much in survival, I wrote like this, like, okay, hi, I'm going through this and this, and I'm in need of money, and I send it to like people on my Instagram and people on my Facebook, and I think that was very shameful. I felt like that way of making money was not right. Okay, I felt very ashamed about that I did that in my journey. And I started to feel really small. So in my deep shame and patheticness that I was feeling, I said a prayer that, God, I want to see myself as you see me. I want to see myself as you see me. And then suddenly that shame that was convincing me that I should hide, that I've done something pathetic and all, that started to melt away, and deeper level of compassion arose, like, in me. And then I saw like, okay, I'm in a very vulnerable and painful state, and if anything, I only have to be kind to myself. Okay, even if I did what I did. And then I was scared facing my landlady, even going out for a walk, because I was like, oh my god, what kind of a person I am who is not able to pay her rent. She hasn't paid her rent in 2 months and all of those things. And initially, now I know, now I don't shame myself, because I know that if this is happening, it's only happening for something good and so magical, because I still have to pay my 2 months of rent. And this month also, like, this month is already, it's 28th of May today, almost about to finish, and I haven't paid this month, and the next month is coming up. And I'm like, oh my god, but I know God's up to something so magical. I know this. I know in my, it's gonna be so magical, this situation. I know this. Anyway, so now I know this, but initially, when it was the first time it was happening, back in November, I was scared, like, how do I tell my landlady that I can't pay my rent? How do I face her? How do I go down, take my dog out for a walk? Facing her gave me panic, and then there were like two, like, one is my landlady and then landlord, like my landlady's husband. So to her I could talk, but I was so scared of him. Like, I was like, what will happen? And I can't even, like, honestly, I felt like I can't call anybody to help, and that's like, it feels very lonely, but I know. So I told myself that, God, I'm gonna walk and live this day today as your daughter, like, you got my back. I'm gonna walk, I'm gonna dress up as knowing that you got me. So I wear whatever I want to wear, and I'm going to walk into this world knowing that you got my back 100%, you know. And yeah, so that's what. And so many other situations, if you are saying a prayer that God, I know God's got me, then you have to also act like it, you have to move like it. That means you have to make a choice to end that relationship that you know is not serving you, but you are scared of being lonely. But you should know that if God's got you, God's gonna nurture you, help you to move through that. You know, it's God's gonna like create a way for you, healthy way for you to heal. If you feel like, oh my God, this job is very, people at my job are very disrespectful, then you should leave that job right now, like right now, and God's gonna look after your money and everything. You know, God's gonna provide for you. And it's like you gotta move, like when you say like, yes, I know God's got me, and then you start making choices that reflects like, yes, God's got me, God's gonna provide for me, God's gonna guide me, God's gonna lead me. Book a one-on-one intuitive guidance session with me for intuitive guidance, psychic guidance, spiritual guidance. And if you want to, you know, that's like energetic boost and like that confidence boost, and guidance, spiritual guidance, psychic guidance, my one-on-one sessions are for you. And get into my mentorship, 1 month of mentorship or 3 month of mentorship for the, you know, unleashing this magical version of you that is highly creative and super confident and walking in this world bravely, courageously, confidently. And you know, to process your shame, fear, regrets, and hence by processing them, stepping into your power, into your purpose, into your magic. Link of that is in my bio. My mentorship, super powerful. Get my journaling course, you know, to remain in that clarity, to access that power by yourself, you know, learning that, because writing is a very, very powerful tool. And even if you are not a writer, even if you are like, you have no intention of pursuing writing as your career and all, you don't have to be, but like just journaling and what I share inside that course, it's gonna open up so much for you, so much power, so much good energy, positivity in your life. Yeah, link of that is in my bio as well. And you can also donate for if my videos have been, not if, but I know they have been adding positive energy and like bringing you right wisdom, you can also donate for me. And be generous, because yeah, it's beautiful to be generous. Link of that is in my bio.